So, hi, okay. So, hi, good evening, everyone. And today we're just gonna have another presentation about scouting. And before we get started, I do want to mention that this is all made possible by Hattie Education. So right here, we have the new like Hattie AI. So it offers like really high quality learning. So whether you're like a student or you're a parent who wants like extra educational support, whether for like your child or for yourself, this is an amazing platform to help you. And it offers not only academic support, but like you can also chat with different founders, discover like new research programs, and there's a lot of amazing opportunities involved. And other than that, other than the new AI platforms, I'm pretty sure if you're still new to Hadi Education, this this presentation is hosted by Hadi Education. So Hadi Education is basically like a platform that offers amazing like counseling and tutoring, and it does a lot of online tutoring as well as a lot of college counseling as well. So I know a lot of students who and they have a lot of like testimonials too, and they have amazing experiences through a counselor, and every year they help a lot of students get into top tier colleges. And if you're interested, whether if you're interested in like college counseling or just like academic support in general, they have amazing quality tutors. And yeah, so that is a bit on Hadi Education. And if you're interested, feel free to message me or just go on their website hadi.com or message Miss Dandan. Yeah. And okay, yeah. So now we will welcome two amazing guests, Maedora. Wait, yeah. So Maedora and Jonathan. So why don't you guys both introduce yourself, a bit of like your background in scouting, and just for fun, one word to describe yourselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Medora. I am in the 11th grade and I've been a Girl Scout for 7 years. I've been a Girl Scout since I was in second grade. And one word I would use to describe myself is adventurous.
Hi, my name is Jonathan, but I go by Johnny. I am in 11th grade and I go to school at CCA, Canyon Crest Academy. And I've been a scout for I think around 6 years. And a word I would use to describe myself is probably uncreative.
Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much. And now they each have a presentation. One presentation is about Girl Scouts and another one is about Boy Scouts. So how about first let's start with Maedora and your presentation on Girl Scouts.
Awesome. I'm just going to share my screen. All right. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience in Girl Scouts, share some information, and hopefully you will um, have a better understanding of what it is, what we do, and maybe even want to join. So, what is Girl Scouts? This is just a little bit of background information. It's a international youth organization for girls from kindergarten through the 12th grade. And I think even after 12th grade, you can still be a member of Girl Scouts. You can just help out in other ways. It was founded by Juliet Gordon Low in 1912. And contrary to popular belief, it's actually not affiliated with Boy Scouts, or as it's called now, Scouts of America. It's a completely separate organization. So its goals are to inspire leadership and confidence in girls. We do a lot of outdoor adventures. They're like earning badges. I'm sure if you've ever seen a Girl Scout, they've got like the vest with like a bunch of different patches and stuff from the different activities. Um, we do community service and volunteering, and I feel like one of the things that Girl Scouts is best known for is probably selling cookies every year. Um, Yeah, each troop is typically consisting of between 5 to 30 girls. It's a very broad range. My troop has 7 girls. So we're a pretty small troop, but you'll tend to see that as you get older, a lot of girls like drop out and it becomes a smaller troop, which I think is a good thing because then you just become closer with everyone. So some reasons why I think you should join Girl Scouts is you build a lot of life skills, you build confidence, you can make a lot of friends, and there are a lot of leadership opportunities that can look very good for college. So I'm just going to go through some of what my troop does and how we kind of dabble in these areas, and I'll also like show some photos and yeah. So yeah, our troop does a lot. We do a lot of like planning trips, and we also do a lot of like camping and interacting with wildlife. I think all of these are very important as like life skills. I feel like joining from a very young age, you get exposed to a lot of different people, and you're also encouraged to talk to like a lot of different adults, which can really just like broaden your worldview. One of the events that we've planned is Camporee, and it's basically a 3-day event with this year we had over 100 participants. And it's all like girls of different ages from the Northern California area. Our troop was hosting it, which means we did all of the planning. We planned all of the food, all of the like where everyone stays. We like rented a campground. And I feel like all of this has just like made me very good at event planning and just like taking everything into account. And this was an event that our troop did in order to like raise money. What we do with the money is we also go on a lot of trips, which we also plan by ourselves. This is one of the trips that we went on. It was a trip to Portland. It was completely funded by ourselves and our cookie money and camporee money. And yeah, I just feel like traveling is a really great way to build life skills and also become closer to fellow troopmates. Yeah. And some other things, some other photos here. Camping. This was from a very long time ago, when we were very young. And this photo over here is a more recent photo of a camping adventure. This photo is our first time using troop money to like completely fund something. We decided to use our money to go to a very, very fancy dinner at Tonga Room in San Francisco, and we were all very proud. So yeah. Yeah, I think another reason that Girl Scouts has been very important to me is that I've been able to develop very long-lasting friendships. As I've said, my troop is pretty small right now. It's just 7 girls. So when we go out on trips, we're all rooming together. I think the good thing about small troops is that there's not really like an issue with friend groups within a troop. It's like we're all just one big family, and it's very nice. So yeah, we do a lot of troop activities together. We have like sleepovers. Yeah, and I really just feel like we're one big family. Um, I feel like I really have a support system with my troop leaders. And I feel like especially as an immigrant girl, really, I feel like I don't really get that type of like, just like exposure to the world as much. And I feel like Girl Scouts has really propelled me in that direction. And another very important aspect that I want to talk about was leadership awards. There are 2 major leadership awards that you can earn as a Girl Scout. And Those are the gold and the silver award. The silver award is middle school and the gold award is high school. They're both very highly valued on college applications. I think the best part of it is that it's a very non-competitive environment. Currently, everyone in my troop right now is working on the gold award, and we have weekly troop meetings discussing like our progress. Our troop leaders are very, very supportive and just everyone's helping each other out. I feel like this is a really, really great way to add to your application, your resume, and it's very, very like stress-free, very supportive. Um, they're both take action projects, which means it's not really like a volunteer project. It's like you are creating a program or like you're basically trying to make something out of nothing to help the world. And yeah, I think it's really important to have a troop behind you in that, or else you can kind of just feel like you're flailing. And there are two prerequisites for the Gold Award. You can either complete the Silver Award as a middle schooler, or you can do the Bronze Award and 2 journeys, which is a thing that you do as like a troop. It's basically like badge earning. And the reason I'm including this is just because I wanted to mention if you do, oops, that is not the right slide. All right. If you do want to work on your gold award, I think it's important to join early or at least join during middle school so that you can get these prerequisites out of the way with your troop, or else I don't think you can start working on your gold award. And yeah, I included a little image of the different levels. There are there are 6 different levels, and currently right now I am in ambassador. And I'm also working on my gold award right now. Yeah. So if you are interested in joining, I did include this to help you. If you go on Girl Scouts of Northern California, there is a tab that says join a troop, and basically you just enter all of your information, like your zip code, whatever, and it'll give you like a list of all of the troops in your area. One thing I do want to mention when it comes to joining a troop is that it's very, very important to join a good troop because a lot of troops end up just falling apart. I think the reason that my troop has stayed together over so many years is because I have like a very, very passionate troop leader. Her daughter is also in my troop. Like it's just, she's very passionate and she's very, like this troop means a lot to her. And I think it's very important when you're looking for a troop, especially if your kid is young, to find a troop where the troop leader is actually very passionate about like doing activities together and like keeping the troop together, because a lot of troops do end up falling apart, especially after maybe like elementary school or middle school when girls are no longer interested because they're not doing any activities anymore because the adult has kind of like given up. So I do think that it's important to actually like meet the troop leader and just like find a good troop when you're joining. So yeah, that was my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. I did include a question slide, but I know that we're gonna have questions after Johnny's presentation. So we'll wait.
All right, thank you so much, Maedora, for that very educational presentation. And it seems that not only does Girl Scouts benefit you in every way, it's also just like a very fun experience overall that does come with its like amazing opportunities as well, whether it's for college or just personal growth, or whether you want to contribute back to your community in some way. I think that is like a really good opportunity. And next we have a similar presentation. It's about Boy Scouts. So Jonathan, why don't you tell us more about it?
Sure, thank you. Let me just present. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my presentation on Boy Scouts. By me, Jonathan Guo. Uh, so I include this. My name is Johnny Guo. I'm 16 years old and I'm a junior at Canyon Crest Academy. My hobbies include sleeping, working out, and playing video games. So in Boy Scouts, I'm a Life Scout, which is the second highest rank, which I'll cover later. And I've been a Boy Scout since fifth grade or 2018, and I'm a member of Troop 765, which I think is the main troop in my area. Okay, so what is Boy Scouts? So it starts at fifth grade, and anything before that is Cub Scouts. And it has this rank system, as you can see here. It goes from Scout to Tenderfoot to second class, first class, Star, Life, and Eagle. And the way you rank up is to complete requirements. So these requirements can be anything like how to patch up an injury or what to do in if you come across like a wild animal, like a snake or something, and they just teach you like really important life lessons. And the more you know, the more you rank up, of course. And then to get to Eagle, there's also an Eagle Scout project, which I'm pretty sure is pretty well known, where you just do something good for the community and it's good volunteer hours. Uh, so that can include like building a bench, which is the most common, and or like mailboxes. And I know someone who's building like a ramp for my school's shot put team. So it could be a lot of things. So in addition to the rank up system, there's also merit badges. And these are individual badges that teach you on a certain subject. Like you can see here, I included things like camping, citizenship in the community, cooking. So you do requirements that basically demonstrate your knowledge on the task. So, for example, for cooking, you have to cook, I think, a week's worth of meals by yourself. And that really just demonstrates your proficiency in the topic. Uh, so these are required from, I think, star onwards. So you need to have a certain amount to progress. Uh, and all of these, all the ones listed below, are Eagle required. So you need to have all of these in order to progress to Eagle, in addition to the Eagle Scout project and everything else. And I've earned 14 merit badges so far. So in the troop, there's different leadership positions that they can elect people to. I think once every 6 months. So the most important is a senior patrol leader. This is just like the scout that runs everything, runs all the meetings, and just leads the troop. Uh, and then below that, well, it's not really a hierarchy, but there's the patrol leader who basically leads individual patrols, which are like groups in the entire troop. So they're kind of like the second in command. Uh, there's also the assistant senior patrol leader who helps the senior patrol leader with different activities and fills in with them whenever the senior patrol leader is unavailable. And there's also the scribe who writes down activities and things happening in meetings and then summarizes them in an email. There's a lot more leadership positions, but I felt like these were the most important. And yeah. So the main part of scouts, besides all the ranking and stuff, is camping. So here I included a picture of uh, one of the first campouts uh, I've I went on as a Boy Scout, which is in Balboa Park. It's a popular spot, and these camps can range from overnight to a week long. I believe this one was 2 nights. And uh, in these camps, scouts are relatively independent. So they set up their own tents, they cook their own food, and other activities include signing off requirements, card games, and starting campfires, like in the picture. Uh, and it's just a fun time overall. We get along nicely, and yeah. So building off of the week long, one of the most important campouts uh, that I've been on is a week long campout at Catalina Island, Emerald Bay. Uh, so for this entire week, we go to these different classes that teach us stuff. Like there was one on ecology and swimming. So these give you either merit badges or get requirements signed off for you. And in general, it was a really fun experience. I think I've been there twice. This is my second time, and I took a bunch of really cool photos. So that's not all. There's other troop activities. For example, the troop feast, where individual patrols get together. They plan, organize, and make their own food, and that food actually gets judged. And whoever's patrol wins. I guess just like bragging rights. There's community service right here in this image, top right, I think. uh, we're clearing the trail so bikers don't get hit by branches or get snared by like leaves or vines. So in doing this, we're just helping the community out. Bottom left, we're backpacking, which is where you get a backpack and you hike on a trail, and then at night, you carry a tent. So you set up camp and then you sleep there, and then in the morning you wake up, you pack up, you keep on going. And I think backpacking is really fun because it just demonstrates how autonomous you can be, just carrying your own food and water and shelter. There's actually a really important backpacking trip that's a week long, so a week without showers or any access to electricity, called Philmont, which if we go back a little, oh, hold on a second. This photo I actually took while on Philmont, and as you can see, the view is pretty good. Uh, okay, and then there's also house building, which is I'm gonna develop further here. So this is Come Build Hope. This is a place. This is a event where you go to Mexico to build a house, basically for just volunteering. So you start out, as you can see, with like pretty basic wooden framework, and you just go to uh, you get to build a house and help people in need. And every single day you go back, you drive to a campsite with tents, and you just get along with your troop there. This is a part of a bigger organization called Amor, I think, but the scouts just like partner with them. And overall, this is 2 nights, by the way. And overall, I think it's a really fun trip and also helps get those volunteer hours up. Okay. Uh, what I've learned from Boy Scouts. So here are a couple of core values that I got from Boy Scouts. First, independence. I've mentioned this a lot, but Scouts are relatively autonomous. Uh, the adults do help out when the Scouts are young, but as they grow up, uh, Scouts rely more on other Scouts than the adults to help them with things like setting up tents or getting requirements signed off. So that just builds a sense of independence and also teamwork. So, for example, setting up a tent is really hard to do with one person. So, scouts need to get into teams, patrols, and it fosters a sense of teamwork to work together and achieve a goal. It also builds perseverance. Like I mentioned, with the 7 day Philmont trip, there's a lot of it was really smelly when I woke up every single day without the showers or anything to like help keep me clean. I had to persevere on through that. Uh, and the hiking was really long as well, like 8 to 12 miles every day. So in that, I learned to push forward in the face of difficulty. And then finally, responsibility. Uh, Scouts also learn responsibility through, like I mentioned, the uh, the troop uh, roles, like senior patrol leader, assistant patrol leader. All these have scouts have to manage other scouts, and that just helps build a sense of responsibility for the entire troop. I know I'm a bit short on time, not short on time, but early. But thanks for listening. Uh, yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Jonathan, for your presentation. And before we do get started with our Q&A session, I did forget to mention something in the beginning that I will mention now. It's about Hattie's, wait, hold on, let me share screen first. Yeah, so it's about Hattie's new opportunity this summer. So if you do want to keep up with new opportunities, whether that's for educational benefits or just for your building your college resume, that's always a great idea to reach out to Hattie because they offer you a lot of different opportunities. And this one is one that is especially outstanding. It's basically learning about machine learning and AI in at UC Berkeley, and it's an amazing summer program if you're interested in this field, or if you're just interested in like learning something new, discovering something, a niche that you think you might be interested in. This is like the perfect opportunity because not only does it teach you a lot about like machine learning and using AI, which is something that's still like very new to the technological world, but also they do offer a lot of amazing experience. So if you want to maybe advance in your like technology career, or if you just want to like explore something new, this is the perfect opportunity this summer. And it's going to be at UC Berkeley as well, which is a highly esteemed educational institution as well. Okay, so now that now that we're done with the presentation, uh, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the program is from July 20th to August 1st, and the students do have to pass a test prior to joining the summer program. So if you're interested, there are specific requirements. So if you're interested in that, you can ask about it during the Q&A session, or you could just email Ms. Hattie, or just ask me, or ask, or just email the Hattie website as well. And yeah, so let's start with our Q&A session right now. So does anyone have any questions? And if you don't feel comfortable like asking it like out loud, you can always private message to me. I know a lot of people like to do that. So yeah. Okay, let me just send so the email information and the WeChat information for the summer program is also in the chat. So yeah. Okay, so one general question is, okay, how are the meetings usually held? What is the structure for like the meetings, and how long are like what how frequent are the meetings held for both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts?
So for my troop, we were meeting consistently, like I would say every single week. Um, during, obviously we stopped during COVID time, but like during middle school, we would have like weekly troop meetings. But then as we've gotten older and as we've gotten more busy, our troop usually only meets when there's like something very important to discuss. For example, if we're like planning an event, if we're planning camporee, or if we're like planning a trip or something, that's when we're meeting because um, it's junior year. Everyone's super stressed about like AP testing. Um, and yeah, um, yeah, we're very understanding about like time constraints.
Yeah, so for Boy Scouts, it's weekly, and there's always something to do during the meetings, especially for younger scouts. So one of the most frequent ones is just uh rank up corners, where basically the troop gets into patrols, and the older scouts help the younger scouts try to rank up and get requirements signed off. And there's also merit badge workshops where they pick a merit badge uh, to work on, and everyone just tries to get that merit badge and all the requirements signed off.
I forgot to mention what we do in the meetings. When we were younger, we would do activities. Every meeting would be like an activity, whether it be like knot tying, like learning up how to set up a tent, or it would be like structured around an activity. As we've gotten older, it's become more like loose, and we usually do like planning for trips and stuff.
All right, great, thank you. And another one is that how is this different from just regular community service? Like, for example, um, like Key Club, or there's like a lot of clubs at school, or that offers like community service, volunteering, and there's also like the classic volunteering. You can always volunteer at the local food bank, or just like the normal community service. How is it different, and how does it really stand out to you guys?
I feel like we do a lot of that classic volunteering. We do like, we volunteered at a food bank. So we do get those like classic volunteering skills, but I think a lot of the things, I think one thing that definitely makes it stand out is the leadership projects that you can do, because those are like on your own. And the difference between that and volunteering is that like you really have to like take the initiative. You have to, you have to plan what you're going to do. So it's giving, yeah, as Johnny said, like more autonomy. And unlike like volunteering, you're not being told what to do. It's like you are taking that initiative yourself. And another aspect of it, I think that makes it stand out to me is um, the community that comes with it. I feel like volunteering sometimes, um, you can be with like a lot of different people, which is like great, but with Girl Scouts, you're really like with your troop, and that really it's a different experience.
Yeah, so for Boy Scouts, it's also like just average community service. Like one time we worked in a food bank, kinda, but it was to help repackage damaged goods, like goods that had their packaging ripped open from like bad transport, or like beach cleanup, or like I mentioned, trail cleanup, things like that. But I think doing it with your troop helps more because you all know each other. It helps foster teamwork and like a sense of camaraderie, really. And also for the Eagle Project, uh, like like Medora says, it's like a sense of initiative, really. You have to like go out of your way to find something to help with, and yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I know for because this is a presentation through Hattie, I know like a lot of people, a lot of the audience, they're also wondering how this benefits your college application. And so talking on that subject, how do you think like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, how do you think that makes you stand out like a lot on your college resume? And does it offer any like special opportunities like scholarships or any of that sort?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure about the scholarships part, just because I personally haven't like researched that yet. But I'm sure there are through Girl Scouts USA. I'm sure there are different like scholarships you can get. In terms of college applications, definitely the Gold Award, the Silver Award, they're all like recognized by admissions officers as something that's very difficult. And if you do have those on your application, it really says something about like the time and the effort that you put into them, because they are very difficult awards to get. I think even aside from that, um, I think being in something like Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, it can give you new experiences, and it can help you meet new people, or maybe like develop new interests, and all of those can be something that you write about for your essays.
Yeah, I don't know about the scholarship opportunities with like Eagle Scouts or anything like that either, but I think getting to Eagle Scout is like really hard. You need to persistently be active in the troop, helping with stuff, and it pretty much guarantees like a lot of volunteer hours And the Eagle Scout project is a sense of leadership, and being in a troop for that long really shows a sense of commitment as well.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. And one more question is, how do you manage the time conflict between sports activities and scout activities? Because I know, since I think both of you are high school juniors, I know that junior year is usually like the toughest year of high school, and me myself included, I'm also a junior, so it's definitely like really hard with all managing like all the AP exams and classes. So how do you manage that with like Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts like outside of school? Like do you have like do you have like a strategy to like plan your meetings, or is it like more lenient with the schedule for both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts? So how do you manage that?
I think for me in my Girl Scout troop, as I previously said, we're like a lot more loose with our schedule. If there's something important that we know is coming up, like for example, AP testing, obviously we're gonna avoid planning any like meetings or anything near those dates. Um, and a lot of the people in my troop are actually working on their gold award right now, myself included. Um, And it is a really big challenge to manage that on top of like all of the other stuff. Which is why I actually recommend getting started on your gold award during like sophomore year instead of junior year with all of like the AP testing if you want to do your gold award. Um, but since we are doing our gold award during our junior year, um, we're planning like monthly meetings just to make sure that everyone's like still on track with what they want to do, even with all of like the stress of junior year.
Uh, for me, I've just the main things that take up time in scouting are like the campouts and the meetings. I haven't been attending a lot of the campouts recently, with school and stuff. Uh, but with like Eagle Scout projects, that can really be done in like a couple days. So a friend I know did his Eagle Scout project over spring break, and I'm planning on doing mine's over summer. So it really isn't that much of a burden, uh, if you get your work done over breaks and stuff like that.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. And I think for now that's all the questions that the audience asked. So if there's no more questions, then I guess this is a good time to conclude the meeting. So I'll hand it back to Ms. Dundon.
Thank you all. Very impressed with all three of you, junior students. Do we have a last call for questions?
Oh yes, actually, I just got a question in the chat again. Um, so the question is, how competitive are Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, or like, are there any requirements to get in, I guess, or if so, like, what are the costs or like process of like getting into one of the troops?
I know there is a fee for when you first join, but there is no like admissions process for Girl Scouts. It's open to everybody.
Yeah, same with Boy Scouts. There's everyone just gets in, but it's a matter of staying in and putting in work and effort.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, and one more question. Where do you sign up and how do you get involved?
To join a Girl Scout troop, I believe you just go to Girl Scouts of USA, or not of USA, just like the Girl Scout website. And then from there, you can enter your like you can enter your address, like where you live. It'll give you a list of troops, and you can contact those troops on your own, and you can get in touch.
Yeah, I think signing up for Boy Scouts is just going to the website and basically doing the same thing that Maedora described.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, I think that is the last of the question. So, Ms. Dundan.
Okay, I do have a question. And are the troop leader all adults? Or one of the parents?
So there's a scoutmaster, which is an adult, but there's also a senior patrol leader who's a scout. So they kind of run things hand in hand. But mainly the senior patrol leader handles things.
And he's adult, right?
Senior patrol leader is a scout, and
Is
scoutmaster is an adult.
okay. And Medora?
Yeah, same thing. No senior patrol leader, but we have one troop leader who is an adult.
Okay, that's great. The reason I'm asking is I think for young students to learn and seek help from, oh yeah, so confirm. Seek help from adults. I think the skill is very important. I think you have the opportunity of working with adults and also working with um, teenagers of your age or even younger kids. So that's, I think, it's really beneficial.
Yeah,
Uh,
completely.
during, yeah, a marketing blog, I kind of teased. I'm like, all the time, parents ask me what, like, admission officers, like, what characters or qualities they are looking for. And I said, don't ask me about that. Ask yourself, the parents and students themselves, what skills will benefit lifelong. So I think you kind of summarize. Maybe Medora can just like shout out 3 skills you will benefit your lifelong, and the same for Jonathan. That's 3 skills. It can be overlapping. What do you think?
Definitely talking to adults is one of them, as you just mentioned. Um, with the troop leaders, it's like a very it's like almost like a friendship. I feel like I'm almost like friends with my troop leader, especially since I started working on my gold award. We've had like one-on-one meetings. I'm really like chatting it up with her. Like even though she's not my mom or like anything, like we're not related at all, there is like a sense of closeness there. And I think throughout my entire Girl Scout career, um, there have been like close adults that I've been able to rely on. Um, so that's one thing. I think another thing, definitely just like autonomy and like doing things on your own, or maybe doing things as a troop without an adult, because we also do a lot of like we also manage our money on our own, and we like decide what to do with our money on our own. Um, so even though there is like an adult to advise us, we're still making all of like the important decisions, and like we're able to see what works and what doesn't. Um, one more thing. One more thing I would say probably talking to strangers, since probably the most like through cookie selling. I remember when I first joined Girl Scouts, I was in second grade and cookie selling just terrified me. It made me very, very scared to go up to a stranger and be like, "Hi, do you want to buy Girl Scout cookies?" But now that's just something that I'm completely comfortable with, and I'm glad that I am.
Yeah, so I highlighted a couple of the values I thought I found important that I get from scouting on my slides. But just to go into more detail, uh, I think independence is a big one. It's good to be independent, especially in the real world. Uh, and funny thing, when I was in Philmont, the person who was guiding us, he like showed us how to like prevent bears from getting into our food and stuff like that. And on I think day 2 or 3, he just left. So that really just shows independence, and there's still adults with us on Philmont, but just it kind of shows independence. And then I think communication is also a big one. Just communicating with fellow scouts on like what requirements you want to sign off, and there's also like a lot of emails that need to be sent, especially for like meetings and Eagle Scout projects. I know. So just yeah, the general thing of communication and independence.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very impressed. Yeah. So, I think that's from me. Any questions from the audience? Yeah. So, yeah, I also have one more observation. You can tell all three, even Kate is not in the scouting, the world, but I think Kate does a lot of volunteer as well. All three of them are very mature. We really did not have a rehearsal. I sent an email maybe 2 or 3 hours before the meeting, and everything's just happening really well. So I can It's just very confident that all three of you junior students are demonstrating independence. And oh, I know I have one more question. So one thing I learned from my teenager days, because I always play with a lot of girls, similar to Medora's Girl Scouts, you know, and sometimes there's drama, high school drama, friends fighting each other. So I want to ask each of you, do you have to deal with confrontation? And how do you deal with it? I think this is very important. I'm very comfortable in dealing with confrontation now, when I'm adult and also a parent. But I maybe you can share your experience of dealing with confrontation.
Is this like specifically for like during Girl Scouts or just like in general?
Just in general, but do you deal with confrontation during scouting experience?
Uh, I feel like when we were younger, there was like a little more drama, but it was always like petty drama. Like it didn't really matter that much. As we've gotten older, I don't know, like everyone in my troop is just made like super cooperative. I don't know if it's like just my troop, but I've never had any drama with them. And um I think one of the reasons for that is that like we don't we're not really like school friends. It's like kind of like an outside thing. Um, so the school like drama atmosphere doesn't really like influence us, I guess. Yeah, I've never really had to deal with much drama from my troop.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, a lot of my troop friends are also real, like, I guess, real life friends. So uh there hasn't really been any drama. We just like get along pretty well. But also kind of like a negative side to that is that I'm kind of non-confrontational. So
That's cool. Chill. That's a very good quality. Johnny, you're gonna have a lot of friends, or you are having a lot of friends. Very good. Okay, I think that's all my question. Maybe Kate, you can close the session with some closing remarks. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And so it's wonderful to end it with some, like, just these amazing questions. And also it's been really nice having these amazing guests talk about like scouts and just inform us about these amazing opportunities. And hopefully that was really, really beneficial for the audience because I certainly did learn a lot. And yeah, so I guess this is a great way to end the meeting. Everyone's asked their questions, and yeah, the presentations were really amazing, and I really enjoyed them. And I hope the audience did as much as me. So, yeah, I think this is a great way to conclude the meeting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Medora. Thank you, Johnny, and also Kate. Yeah. Okay. We'll share the recording. Thank you all for joining. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Good night.
I
Mhm.